G'day guys, Ari here with Denison Yachting, and today I'm here in one of the most remote places in the Caribbean, Bonaire, to show you an incredible blue water ocean-going vessel which kind of mixes a battleship and a 5-star luxury resort in one. It's the Nordhavn 63 and her name is Martini. Her profile is unmistakable. When you see this boat underway or at the dock, it's that true Nordhavn design with the aft bridge station, Portuguese bridge to break weather, large foredeck, and those rake windows. This is the kind of boat that borders on overkill. Today we had the privilege of running offshore, having 5-foot swells and strong wind gusts. We were all interested to see how this vessel would handle. Going through those large swells, even with the big wind, she just plowed through thanks to her full displacement hull. We have 2,500 nautical mile range, ABT track stabilizers, as well as redundant Paravane stabilizers, and full system redundancies throughout, whether it be John Deere engine, autopilot, steering, and the list goes on. On the main deck, you have the master stateroom, as well as a VIP forward. Both of these cabins are absolutely exquisite, with the third cabin on the bridge deck aft for the captain. Being under 70 feet makes this vessel a very easy boat to be able to run single-handed or even as a couple cruiser. I'd like to welcome you aboard Martini. The first place on board I wanted to show you is right here on the stern. With her factory optioned extended swim platform, it's ideal for boarding and disembarking the vessel. The seller also upgraded a number of things, like this custom 316 stainless steel emergency boarding ladder, this fold down swim ladder for diving or lugging heavy equipment in and out of the water. Moving over to the starboard side, we have a conveniently located Glendenning shore power cord, as well as an oversized entry door onto the aft deck. One of the more diverse spots on board is this main deck aft area. Having this hardtop that spans all the way to the edge of the deck keeps you out of the elements and the sun. You also have this large bench seating area with ample storage underneath and multiple deck chairs. When you're seated in this area, if you want to extend the shade from the aft all the way back to the swim platform, you have an additional canvas shade that goes aft, as well as 2 side curtains. Just inside the entry door, you have this conveniently located aft steering station featuring steering control, windlass control, electronic gear control, and bow and stern thruster controls, making it very easy to single-handedly dock the boat. Tie into the entertainment aspect of this aft deck area, you have a conveniently located refrigerator drawer, an electric grill, a sink, and tackle storage below. A few other things I wanted to point out over here on the port side is the hot and cold shower. You have an upgraded Maxwell capstan and a diesel fill. Underfoot, we have this comfortable, removable, padded infinity decking throughout. Peeling off this piece just to port reveals the large lazarette hatch. Down here in the lazarette is an impressive amount of storage space, featuring a Bauer Junior dive compressor, dive tanks, a 9-kilowatt backup generator. There are also a number of battery switches on the forward bulkhead and charging systems. Transitioning from the lazarette back up to the aft deck, I've got to point out this aft deck door. Having the Dutch door style means you can conveniently open up the door to get airflow even in a big sea, keeping the vessel all protected. Stepping into the main salon, you really get a feel for the vessel's asymmetric hull design. Having the salon spread all the way to the maximum beam on the port side and having the walkway on the starboard side gives the salon a much larger footprint. Turning our attention to the starboard side, you have this beautiful teak table, which is a versatile table, being able to move apart, move down into a coffee table, and to extend with an expansion leaf. Behind it, you have a large U-shaped seating area for 6, and over to port, we also have an L-shaped settee. Other important features in the salon, we have a large TV on the aft bulkhead, as well as fiddles on every flat surface, and custom acrylic drop-ins that keep all the teak in immaculate shape. Of course, with the vessel named Martini, you need a space for all your Martini glasses and bottles, which you find right here. And additionally, near the galley, there's more custom glass storage. When it comes to storage, the 63 does not disappoint. We have custom cabinetry here on the entryway, as well as a wet locker to the starboard side. Forward, we even have storage behind the seating, as well as under the cushions. One of the things I love on board is this open galley layout. When you're cooking in the galley and entertaining, you're not missing out when you're cooking up a storm. Stepping into this spacious galley, you would expect all the creature comforts as you would in a large home. We have dual stainless steel sink, induction, thermidor, stovetop and oven, as well as a large microwave oven on top, ample countertop space for cooking, as well as appliance storage. When cooking for a large group of people, there are even drop-in granite inserts that expand the countertop space. As far as refrigeration, we have dual GE monogram refrigerators and freezers, as well as a 46-bottle wine cooler. Now let's talk about access. We've got this starboard side entry door, which leads straight into the galley for easy provisioning, a stairwell leading up to the bridge, down to the engine room and laundry space, as well as forward to the accommodation spaces. Heading forward to the accommodation spaces, we have this breaker panel here, which has the generator start-stop buttons, shore power transfer switches, and spot zero and water maker start-stop buttons as well. Immediately forward, we have a large pantry with ample storage for longer voyages. And directly across from this is the owner's stateroom. Stepping into the master, you're greeted by a large king-size bed with a full walk-around for easy access. Opposing, we have a large Sony TV and ample closet storage throughout. Seeming as this boat's aimed at the owner-operator, we have a Furuno multifunction display, as well as a Furuno keypad, which, when the chart is posted on the Sony TV, can adjust accordingly. We have an ensuite with a beautiful granite countertop, teak finishes, and a large shower stall. Heading forward to the VIP cabin, we have an ensuite which doubles up when this door is closed as a dayhead. Coming all the way forward, we have the VIP stateroom with a walk-around queen berth, cedar-lined closet, and 8 opening portholes. Gives us lots of natural light and lots of fresh air when open. Something that's in all the staterooms is a Dometic reverse cycle heating and air conditioning control unit, as well as multiple USB charging outlets. Just above these beautiful slatted teak bulkheads, we have this airline storage compartments, which is just the beginning of all the storage we see on this boat. All the cabins have lots of good drawer storage, as well as storage under the berth. What's great about these mattresses is they're all custom made with a brake to make it easy for accessing the storage areas. Having worked on boats for a couple of decades, one of the things on board I appreciate the most are the things that most guests never see. For example, just here in the deck of the VIP, we have the forepeak. Here at the forepeak is the central hub for all your water systems. Side by side, we have dual water makers for redundancy. Aft, we have a water heater, and forward, we have an ultraviolet water filtration system. Now here on the lower deck, just outside the engine room, I'm going to show you one of the more versatile spaces on board. Here we have 2 additional berths for overflow guests or crew, freezer storage with a commercial grade Perlick freezer, as well as a full-size washer and dryer and multiple storage hatches. Additionally, you have a sink just outside the engine room. The first of the 2 berths are over here to port, and the mattress for this area is in this protected black case. In centerline, we have a Lee cloth hammock style bed, which just folds straight out of the cabinet works. Connected to this space is the engine room. With full standing headroom height, you can see we have plenty of space to work around this 325 horsepower John Deere engine. One thing to note about this engine is it has a keel cooling system, meaning the coolers have no impact with salt water whatsoever, which is very cool. No corrosion at all. Another thing to note is all the hoses were upgraded by the seller to meet his personally very high standards. Further proof of this is everywhere you look where there's a connection, you'll see a bib wrapped around. So if there's ever a leak, you'll be able to tend to it and see where it's coming from immediately. Martini is equipped with ABT track stabilizers. You can see all the systems in place here. This system also runs the windlass and the thrusters. Over here on the starboard side, we have dual Raycor fuel filters, which ensures the 4 main fuel tanks feed the day tank clean fuel at all times. There is also an additional fuel tank for the wing engine as a redundancy. Unlike the main engine, which is center lined, just off to starboard we have the 100 horsepower John Deere wing engine. This redundant engine is a backup just in case for the main engine. You also have a folding propeller to minimize drag when underway. And just across the engine to port, we have the 20 kilowatt Northern Lights main generator. This is the first of 2, the second of which is found through the aft hatch, which takes you into the lazarette. Half the joy of owning a vessel like this is getting to run her. Up here on the bridge, you find all the systems you would find on a large super yacht or commercial ship. Redundancy is everywhere you look. Starting just above eye level, we have the Maritron vessel monitoring display, Icon VHF, backup autopilot, multiple Furuno multifunction displays, and your forward-facing sonar unit. At the captain's hand, you have a large ship's wheel, electronic gear control, non-follow-up steering, ABT track stabilizer controls, and your main autopilot unit, as well as a Maxwell chain counter. This vessel has 4 large displays featuring your Furuno charts, depth sounder, backup time zero charts, radar, and multi-zone CCTV cameras. Outboard of these monitors to port, we have a Fusion stereo control, as well as your wing engine control and throttle. Just after your very comfortable steered helm chairs, we have a large dinette with an L-shaped settee. Below the seating is a refrigerator. And just after this is your third stateroom, which has a double berth, ample storage, lots of natural light, which is brought in by all the windows throughout. Adjacent, we also have a day head and shower. Right here on the back side of the third stateroom on the bridge deck aft, we find a large bench seat and one of my favorite places on board, this huge sunbed area. Great for entertaining or just hanging out and relaxing with a martini at the end of a long day of cruising. Over here to starboard, we have a ladder that takes you to the radar mast, where you can see 5 large solar panels, a FLIR infrared camera, dual Starlink, dual open array radars, and a Furuno weather station. Our final stop on today's walkthrough is the foredeck. Headed forward to the starboard side of the bridge, you'll see the first of 2 wing stations, which feature electronic gear control, steering, hydraulic bow thrusters, even an anchor windlass up and down. One thing to note about this is the custom hardware to keep this open even in a high wind situation. Headed through the Portuguese bridge, you'll notice the high capping rails above waistline for additional safety. We even have a door to seal this area off. And just forward, the foredeck. Up here on the foredeck, we have the Highfield SP420 rib, which features a Garmin navigation screen, VHF radio, sound system, and a 60-horse Yamaha outboard engine. This tender is transported easily on and off the boat with this hydraulic ES 1500 steelhead davit. We also have additional spares for the entire davit. So when offshore or in the middle of nowhere, if any part were to go out, you've got you covered. Up forward, we've got our anchoring setup, which features a Maxwell windlass, large chain with swivel, and 243-pound stainless steel Rockner anchor. Just underneath this windlass setup, you've got this large stainless steel hull guard plate. which symbolizes the roots of this pedigree vessel and Nordhavn's dominance over the seas. Thanks for coming on the tour of the 2022 63 Nordhavn Martini. For more information or for an in-person tour, feel free to reach out to me, Ari Sherr, anytime. See you on the water.